Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Brickin Broadcast Network on Fridays. This is our new time because we are pivoting, just like any good brick builder will pivot when something comes up. As you know, we were starting to stream on Thursdays, but that was the same time that Brick and Nick was streaming on Thursday evenings. And we've decided we would start listening and watching their show, Brick and Nick's show, and then we would be coming on Fridays to do our recap. Mm-hmm. And I'm here, of course, with Brick Literacy. How's it going, Remy?
Hello. I'm good. And, it's exciting because, the whole reason we moved the show initially, it was on Wednesdays, but then they moved, Lego Masters to Wednesdays, kicking off the feud. But I'm excited to say that we have officially ended the feud with Fox. And they have, sent us some images that we can use, and we're very happy about that. So
there was never a feud. It was one of these things. Okay, so let's just give you some background, some really cool information. And I'm going to really do a shout out to one of our guests, is that one of our guests connected with us with the PR person at Endemol Shine. And now the Brickin Broadcast Network is an official media site in the eyes of Endemol Shine. So we're super excited about that. And that only happened yesterday, literally yesterday. Crazy. And we were invited to the special media debriefs, and we're participating in those. So that's all part of the new thing. So actually pivoting is a good thing. And it's also good because we're going to also reference some of the comments we heard yesterday on Brick and Nick's show, because Brick and Nick has a little review with all the cast members that can attend. And today we're focusing on one team. And I know one of the members very well from Sortlug. And when I asked her if she would be on the show, she didn't hesitate at all. She was just like, whatever you need, Naomi. In fact, she's the one who connected us with the Endemol Shine people. And I'm so excited to welcome to the show, Liz Julio. Hey.
Hello. Thanks for having me. It's like we never connect because you're West Coast and I'm East Coast. So this is great.
Right. In fact, it's one of the things Liz always says. I always get the alerts for your show, but it's always so late because I tend to stream around 9 o'clock, but we moved it to 6 o'clock because Remy's on the East Coast too. And just to have you on the show to kick off our season 3 interviews with cast members, because we've done two review episodes so far. This is season 3. So we're going to go through the builds with you, along with your awesome partner, wicked awesome partner.
Wicked awesome.
Erin Laundry. Hey.
Yes.
Yeah. And one of the things that was great is Erin was one of the first Lego Masters I saw in Seattle. And it was funny because she was looking at my ramen shop and I was like, oh, look, check this out, that the ramen shop turns. I was just so excited that I had my first person that I could show this to. And then she was like, that's really cool. And then I looked at her name tag and I was like, oh, you're one of the Lego Masters. I was like so embarrassed. I'm like, oh, look what I can do with my little turn.
I loved your ramen shop. It was awesome.
Oh, thank you. You're so approachable. Everybody on the show has been so approachable and so nice. And just to see the energy with all of you there in Seattle, what a delight and so much fun to watch. And also we got to see behind the scenes too in the after party time. And oh my gosh, you guys are a wild bunch too.
No, we are the most mild-mannered bunch ever. There was no fun on set.
Yeah. But I just wanted to say, I've only just recently met Erin. I've known Liz for just through Zoom calls really for the last 2 years. So just having you both help us kick off our interviews for the season 3 cast, I am so thrilled. And thank you again for taking the time to be on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. And for those of you who are new to the Brickin Broadcast Network, I'm Naomi. I'm based here in Seattle and Remy's based in Virginia. And what Remy does is he does the heavy lifting of all of the visuals. And one of the things that's been cool is we've been now getting official videos. So we wanted to thank Fox and Endemol Shine for also sending us some official graphics for our show. And we are just super excited to be able to do this review show with some upgraded graphics, because Remy has done such a great job in our other episodes where he's done screenshots. He will take specific shots and do that. But now we also have some really cool images.
You got the real ones.
Yeah,
yes,
we don't have to just, they're not just black and white anymore. We have colors.
I'm not gonna lie, we still screenshotted ourselves because sometimes I'm like, but they didn't get the one that I wanted, so we still screenshot it.
Yeah, it's a little annoying, like not having all the angles and going into all the details about the builds, but we'll get into that.
Yeah. Awesome. And so before we get started, are you now that you've had a chance to see some of the different builds, are you surprised at all about how you appear on screen, or how the editing has been done to portray you on the show?
What do you think, Erin?
Oh, I honestly can't help but notice how much is missing. I mean, obviously they have all these teams, and it's over. This last one was over 11 hours, and they cut out stuff. But there's so many amazing conversations that happen, like our conversations with Amy and Jamie, or conversations with Will, the feedback we get from them, and you know, you kind of go into these episodes hoping to hear that again, and then it's all cut. But it's like they have to make it fit. So
you need the director's cut, right? Or you need the behind the scenes shots.
Yeah, or make it 2 hours, put it on Fox Plus or whatever their streaming service is, and I'd watch it.
I know. So for me, it's a little bit like, oh, I wish we saw more, but at the same time, I'm like, but what they have left has been really good. So I'm like, I'm very happy at the portrayal. We are very positive, because you have to wonder, you might have a disagreement like 3 times. Are they going to harp in on that disagreement and make that be the 5 seconds that you get of airtime? So everyone thinks you're this giant, like, mean person, or are they going to like just pass over that? And they've been really good at, I think, their portrayal of how we are, which is hysterical.
Oh, it's fun. And I heard too, this came from, I think, Brickin Nick's interview, that you were jump roping at one point. Is that right?
Yes. So I was kind of bummed I got cut out. In episode 2 with Jessica Meir, the astronaut, she had brought out a giant NASA tether, and they tied it to the stairs. So I was running to the brick pit, and Dave was right behind me. So I ran to the brick pit. I came back, and I was like, and Will was sitting on the stairs, and I looked at him. I was like, dude, this is like a jump rope. He goes, let's do it. And Dave was like, sweet. So he put down his bucket. I put down my bucket, and both him and I are jumping rope with a like bajillion-dollar NASA tether that's been in space.
Wow.
So it was very quickly in one of the ads, but I guess that falls under Will wasting airtime, so it didn't make the final cut.
Well, I hope we get to see more of that, and maybe it goes back to, maybe they'll release some behind the scenes footages.
I would love that.
Yeah, that would be
a lot of shenanigans. A lot.
And how did it feel being at BrickCon with so many of the different Lego Masters there?
Well, Erin, I think she talked because it was her first con.
That was your first con?
It was.
Okay, we're going to give you full screen. Tell us, Erin.
Okay, I loved it. I was so excited to see all the other Lego Masters, because I got to be honest, watching these promos of all the team intros, I was getting increasingly teary watching them. I'm like, I really missed them, like really badly. And so I was really happy, just even just to be there for 2 full days. I did have a rookie mistake. I forgot to eat one day. And the Canvin saved me. They took one look at me. They're like, here's a banana, here's a water, sit down. But it was so amazing. Like like how I met you. I tried to take a lot of Friday and just like, harass the other Lego Masters. But when I wasn't doing that, I like to walk around and just talk with individuals and ask how they were making, and hear people's input on how they came up with their idea, and just really just talk to people. It's it's so nice to talk with people who think on the same wavelength and have the same passions and interests. And it was delightful. I can't wait to go to my next one.
And BrickCon was celebrating its 21st anniversary. It's the longest running Lego convention in the United States. So it also has a long history as well. So it's really good that you were able to get that as your first con.
Was it 21 Time for Fun, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. 21 Time for Fun. And then Liz, how many cons have you been to now?
So in the past 6 months, a lot. After the show, like, so my first con was Brick Fair, Virginia, 2 years ago, because that was when I joined my log, and they were like, no, you need to go to a real convention. And I went to one that I'm not going to name because anyone in the real Lego world knows that it's not a good con, because it's not really a con. And then after that, I went to, it started with Chicago this summer. Then after Chicago, I went to Brick Rodeo. Then after Brick Rodeo, I went to Virginia, I think, was it? I can't remember. Virginia. And then after Virginia, I went to Utah. And then after Utah, I went to Seattle. So I've been doing a tour of the cons.
Cool.
So you've been all over doing the Liz tour.
Just because I can. I mean, I am a teacher, so I had the summer off.
Oh, that's
and
great.
I mean, every con, like, different members of the Lego Master family were there. So I'm like, I just want to go see my friends. And also, like Erin said, there's so many great builds, and every con has a different kind of feel and a different focus.
Yes.
And I really appreciate each one for how they are.
Well, I think I randomly met you at that first Brick Fair because that was the one where you won the award for your ice palace, right? Yeah, that was awesome.
That is correct.
Yeah. So, like, you never know who you're going to run into at these cons.
No, and I've had so many people come up to me and start calling me Elsa. And they're like, oh, it's Elsa again. And I was just like, oh, God, what have I done?
Yeah.
Well, we should clarify to the viewers, too, that you were dressed in cosplay for that particular event.
Which I didn't know was not a thing. I thought that it was like Comic-Con where people dressed up.
Right.
So I dressed up and I waltzed out and I saw, like, coincidentally, Patrick, one of the grandpappies, dressed up in his Mustafar outfit.
Yeah, Patrick always dresses up.
That was it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool that you met Patrick there, because we had a chance to chat with him and he had a couple stories about you. And one of them has to do with don't worry, it's PG. So one of them has to do with you playing the ukulele, and that he asked for a special request, and that you took the time to look up the lyrics and you sang it. And he was really impressed because you have a beautiful voice. So tell us a little bit more. I mean, I know this story already, but tell our viewers about why do you have such an awesome voice?
Well, all right. So I'm a choral director, for anyone who doesn't know, because now you do. And I have been singing my whole life. I've been a musician, and I used to play trumpet, and trumpet was hard. And I realized that singing was a lot easier. So I sang at Carnegie Hall when I was 17. And then I majored in music education because I was really passionate about music. And I thought, hey, if I can make money doing this, why not? And singing became my thing. And right now I am a middle school choral director, and I teach 12 sections of chorus 24 times a week. And it's the best job ever. And the ukulele I picked up. And then Erin is a singer and performer as well. So instant bonding.
And that's how you two got together, right? Is that you met through the music world?
Oh, no.
We met through the Lego world, and then the music world was like, oh my God, yes. How did you two meet?
We met through the Ladies Lego Lounge.
Oh, okay. So on Facebook.
On Facebook. That is such a supportive group, an online group. I've never come across another one quite like it. And I spent a lot of last year uploading pictures of the mocks I was working on and getting such positive feedback and such great input, and it made me feel so good. But that's also how Liz and I started communicating was over the flower bouquet. And there was a thread about how to make a vase and what people were using for their vases. And that's how we met.
Yeah.
Mine's there. So what happened is this was before the show was even in either one of our brains. Yeah. And when the flowers had come out, I was like, okay, I need to make a vase. And this was before Elsa's Castle. Okay. This was like the first mock that I'm like, I really want to make something. I really, really want to make something. And I saw hers and I was like, that's amazing. How did you do that? And she had this beautiful pink and black vase. So I remember messaging her and being like, that's so cool. And so we were talking back and forth about vases, and then I did mine. And I'm like, but I used curved bricks. I didn't know you could curve bricks that weren't curved. So it was so cool.
So I'm just curious now that you've been on a couple watch parties, and it's now episode 3, and of course you can't tell us where you are in the standings, but now that you're kind of reflecting back on this experience, do you think you would change anything or do anything differently based on the episodes that we've already seen, these first 3 episodes?
I feel like when you get to the end of a build, there's always this reflection point of like, man, if I wish I had done this differently, or maybe that, like this last one, the real strength in the structure, that idea came a little after attaching it to the base plate. So that ended up being our ultimate weakness. But because of the short amount of time, you don't have a lot of time to prototype and then go back. And then, you know what I mean? So once you're committed, you're kind of committed.
She almost didn't have a face.
What was that?
Oh.
Remember, she almost didn't have a face. Because I was like, oh my God, I'm trying to like get the stuff done. And it's like, that really literally came together. It was one of those builds where it's like, was that TV editing? It's like, no, we were building to the last second.
That was the fastest I ever built in my life. That was insane.
Wow. Well, and it's interesting when you have the timer in the back of your mind, it also kind of really motivates you to say, you don't want to show up with your build without a face, because what's going to happen is that's the first thing they're going to say, right? And Amy and Jamie, they, from what I understand, you don't get very much time with them at all, right? Because they're supposed to be unbiased. And so the only people that you're able to bond with are your cast members through this whole process. Yeah. And do you have any nuggets of wisdom with regard to anything that Amy and Jamie may have said to you that you'll always take back with you from this?
I do. And I'm kind of bummed it didn't make the show. I'm not going to lie. I forgot Amy asked me to make her a vest. Like when that was shown, I was like, oh, that's awesome. I don't remember that. I do remember my first real positive moment with Jamie was when I was whipping that mountain together, because we had spent 2 hours planning and then had to change it. And he came over and said, wow, you really know how to build a mountain. And I was like, Sally, for a moment, like, he likes me. He really likes me. And just the fact that he said that made me blush and like, oh my God, Jamie.
That was a cool mountain too. Really good rock work.
It was a little bit better than Elsa's, I have to say. It was.
And you had to pivot too, because that wasn't your original plan.
That worked out perfectly, though.
What about you, Erin? Any memories you have specifically about your interaction with Amy and Jamie?
Getting any kind of positive feedback from them was like something that would like almost bring you to tears. It's like it was so beautiful. But I just remember that this last episode, the 3rd episode, Jamie. I overheard Jamie talking to Will at the front of the stage and commenting on the internal structure of our build and how smart it was, and just being like, it felt really good. It was very validating.
That's us.
The audience doesn't know this, but I mean, this isn't any trade secret or anything, but when you're in there, you cannot hear them talking.
Mm-hmm.
It is a sound studio. It is dead quiet. So we'll see Will, Amy, and Jamie talking up front. And it'll be like, are they talking about me? Who are they talking about? Because that's when they do their whole like, so who's struggling and who's doing really well? So when we were at that front table, all of a sudden you'll see me go like this. That's when I'm like, what are they saying? Like the ears pop out, and that's me trying to eavesdrop and be like, did they say us? And that was when we heard to be like, they like the structure, because we were at the front.
Oh, that's super cool. Okay, so I think we're ready to start with the slideshow. Yeah. So I had already prepped Erin and Liz about how we're going to go through all the builds, and we would love to hear your comments too about what you think about these builds. We do our little overview, but certainly you give us another layer being behind the scenes of what was happening at the time.
Not too deep of a layer, but yes.
Yeah.
All right, well, cool.
Okay. Yeah, but first I just want to touch on something really quick that I noticed about the show, and I just find amusing. And Dave and Emily had these shirts on, and you've also been wearing these shirts that say hockey. Yes. Sports. Just sports. So y'all are big baseball fans, I can gather, like Yankees, Mets.
No.
No.
Don't you dare. No.
Mariners? No, I don't. I mean, your shirts just say baseball. I can't tell.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
This is
So they
Boston.
actually said to us, like, oh, we're gonna ask if we can use the logos, and then we get there, they're like, we can't use the logos. So we're just gonna be like Boston generic.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But yeah, no, I really enjoy.
Yeah. You
your
don't say
shirts.
Yankees to it's Red Sox, right?
Yes,
Right.
ma'am. It's Red Sox. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. And
Okay.
Mariners are Seattle. And here, I've got to ask Remy.
Well,
He
what
was
about the
having a hard
Knicks? The
time
Knicks and
pronouncing our hockey team. What is the name of the Seattle hockey team? It is
The Krakens, right?
Oh, you did it again. It's not Kraken. It's Kraken. Release the Kraken. I have been
Well, no,
coaching
there's-
him all weekend. And I
Kraken?
said, okay, there's a sign, pronounce it. He goes, it's Kraken. It's like, oh, he did it
Well,
again.
no, I thought it was
He did it again.
I thought it was Krakens because there's not just the one guy on the hockey team, right? It's like more than one guy. I don't know.
That's okay.
Sports is
That's a
confusing.
segue. That's like a behind the scenes we're gonna
I
Anyway.
didn't even know that was a real team name. So that tells you how much I know about Seattle ice hockey. I was like, wait, that's a real team name?
It's a real team name. Okay, we won't
no.
go down the hockey puck of hockey team names, but okay, so and
So yeah,
here's
like
the slideshow.
yeah, this was the Brickin Bull Ride Rodeo. As Will said, the entire point of the episode is to get Jamie and Chaps. Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished.
And these were also stills provided by production for us. So
I know. These are great.
these are great.
We
So
have
can talk
awesome
anything.
photos. Yeah.
People are like, Amy's wearing a tablecloth. I'm like, yeah, but she makes it look good.
She makes
Yeah.
everything look good.
Yeah, no doubt. So let's see. So here's our bull meter,
Oh my god.
and this is Will wearing the Lego Masters belt buckle.
And he was in it. Will was never like super fake. That's Will. Like what you see is what you get. He is hysterical. I love it.
Yeah. So here's some close up of the belt buckle, and
we didn't
this
get that one.
is our build area, the Brickin Bull Ride.
Yep.
Kudos to whoever came up with that design because that worked perfectly. Putting the table into it,
Mm-hmm.
right, and locking it in.
Yeah, I love this shot, the top down shot, because they didn't really show that on the show.
Yeah, they kind of glossed over it, but this was like a really unique build surface. Were you able to use these bricks at all, or did you have to stay within the bounds of this kind of these four squares here?
That's it. We just had to use that. It was 4 of the art set bases all put together. But if you see along the edge there are Technic bricks.
Yeah.
Connection points. There are 2 layers. The bottom layer we have to use to stick pins through to hold it down onto the saddle. The top ones you can connect stuff to.
Oh,
Okay.
awesome.
Cool.
Yep. But we could only so when first glance, it looked like we could only use the sides to connect stuff to as well, not the front of the back.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
you can see the 2 layers there.
Yep.
this is what you all had, right?
Yes.
And,
Yes.
Mhm.
What was this? Was this something that they just gave everyone to like kind of test if it would fit, or?
Yeah, to get the width of the legs correct, so it would fit over the saddle.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
So
okay.
in one of the broadcasts I was listening to earlier, they were like, how did they know how to get the legs that wide? That's how that pedestal, those wooden beams that were out were the width of the bull. So we knew that if the leg hit that little thing on the side, that it would match the width of the bull.
Okay, cool.
I love these
And
details.
oh, sorry, this random tumbleweed. I don't know how that got in there.
Fun fact, watch the episode again. The size of the tumbleweed changes.
Oh. And this was also fun. Steven showing Will how to ride the bull. You know, he's anchored his hand here, and he's got his other hand back, and just going to town.
God, I love Crash. We call him Crash. Crash is his nickname.
Crash and Yo-Yo.
Yep, Crash and Yo-Yo. You met them, right?
I did.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to chat with them too much because usually they were in between costume changes, especially Crash.
Yeah. That was
I just
amazing.
kept
By the way.
hearing, wait until 3 o'clock. And then Crash is going to be, or they did, actually, Tacos was telling me, oh, there's something big happening at 3 o'clock.
It
You want to
was
be here for 3
epic.
o'clock. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're like right in the middle of the Master Build Challenge. Okay, and we're doing our thing, and I look up, and I see him, and I see Randall from season 1, and they're talking to Liam, and it seems very silly. So.
and Crash loves imitating Amy. I love your energy. I was dying.
He's like, tell me about your use of color in this build.
And Stacey Roy did the makeup.
Yep.
So she, kudos to her for, the eyelashes, all of the blush and everything.
There was no help with that wig though. Oh my gosh. So his room was across from mine and I was not allowed in there because I was legit judging the master build. So I couldn't go hang out and walk around with them. So I made sure he came and showed me before he headed over and I was like, oh, there's no help for this wig.
You had to be there, folks. You had to be there. There's a few pictures out on the internet.
Oh, they're all over my Instagram. You can go to mine.
Yeah. There you go.
But yeah, this was an 11-hour challenge. This is the third consecutive week where you've taken away an hour. We've gone 13, 12, and now 11. So, but yeah, Will also decided to. Never enough time, right? But Will, decided to be method and rob a bank mid-episode. You can see here, these are legitimate bank money bags full of money. And they also contain the golden brick. So finally, we get our golden brick back.
Yeah, it took them a while.
We did that together.
To bring it.
Yes.
Sorry, Erin and I do have another wavelength. Like we would randomly start singing and they had to tell us to stop.
A lot.
Were you singing like copyrighted things?
That's what you like to do, right? You like to sing.
No,
together.
it was so the excuse I got was that there was some poor sound mixer who had the job of mixing everyone's microphones into the director's ears. And anytime Erin and I would sing, we would just kind of dominate and they wouldn't be able to mix it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's too bad. We didn't get another rendition of "We're Building with Bricks Now."
They wanted us to, but we were too stressed. I was like, I can't sing right now, doo-dah, doo-dah.
So I was like, no, we're building with bricks now. Go away. But no, that's awesome. But yeah, glad to have the golden brick back finally. And of course, where is it?
I wanted that golden brick.
Oh man, I thought I had a shot. Will immediately put it on his belt buckle.
Yeah.
I thought I had that shot. I'm sorry.
That's okay. We know what happened.
Okay.
But
you have to watch the show, folks.
Yeah, watch the episode.
He had a shiny crotch for a moment there.
Yeah. But anyway, first up was Chabolita by Christina Michelle. And here's a little behind the scenes of them building it.
See, I love this build so much. And when we're there, we have no idea what's going on with the other people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So to hear her talk last night about how stressed she was and about how, they had said, oh, your structure might not be strong enough, et cetera, et cetera. I was like, oh my gosh, I would have had no idea because I loved it so much.
Yeah. I think this is one of my favorite builds.
Ditto. I love the hair.
It's just,
the way that the hair was flying around. And also what's fun about this team is they love to dance. You talk about the two of you love to sing. These two are dancing all the time. And Michelle was even kind of moving around while the bull was going around. She was getting into it. Yeah.
They didn't show. They were actually dancing during like the end, like the judging and stuff. We were all dancing. It was amazing.
Oh.
Yeah. They showed a little bit at the start of the ride, but yeah, I'm sure there's a lot more. But yeah, here's our finished Chabolita.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's so pretty.
Closer up shot of the head here.
Yeah.
See, oh my gosh, this is great.
Liz, how do we get these photos?
Yeah, I want these photos. Can JC send them to me, please?
I can.
I'm sure JC could probably send them to you. I don't think we're allowed to forward them, but yeah, talk to JC.
But yeah, I love the hair. Oh, someone's here.
Dom's
Dom's
mom is on. Hello.
Welcome.
Welcome.
We haven't
to
talked
the
about
stream.
him yet.
I
I
don't
love
know who
that.
you're talking about. Like this is
Yeah.
that's great.
Who
I'm
is
glad,
that?
I'm glad that you're happy to be a mom, but I don't see how that's relevant.
Yeah, these close-up shots, by the way, thank you again, Fox and Endemol Shine, for all these awesome photos. They're really wonderful.
Okay, these are so cool.
They are. We've barely gotten a chance to see this close up. This is amazing.
But yeah, I really like all these details here and the way that they did the skeleton arms.
The
And
colors.
they hung on. That was another thing. So in the episode, Jamie had said to them, like, I'm really worried about your arms, that there's not enough support and they're going to fly off. And then at the end of the episode, they didn't fly off. And he was like, I am going to eat my humble pie because you ladies proved me wrong. And that was epic. And I kind of wish they showed it.
Yeah.
Well,
but it happened. So I can say it happened.
Yeah. No,
I was going to say, you're not saying anything that is not allowed to be said.
Nope. I'm like, that was on, camera.
Yeah, Monica, just really quickly. Yeah, we understand. Sorry, I'm just trying to do a bit here. So welcome. But yeah, let me see what else I have here. Here's another close-up shot so we can look at kind of the dress and how it
This is crazy.
Once again, the color palette, it's just beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And the hair. There's the hair, the little rope.
Yeah.
The movement was amazing.
Yeah, and I know Michelle does a lot of that sculpture artwork with the face and everything. She's so good.
Okay, so here we go. We've got a little bit of the movement. No, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, one of the awesome things about this build is you know what it is as soon as you look at it. Like it's so iconic, it's so clear. But yeah, the colors just knock it out of the park.
The colors are just amazing.
Yeah, and like for a lot of different colors, it really does integrate well, But let's see. Okay, so here's level 2. This is our saddle cam.
I didn't know there was a saddle cam either. Did you, Erin?
No, I didn't. Although watching it, I was like, oh, I hope they don't show this too much.
There was one image of ours where the horns were sticking out of her head from the saddle cam, and I thought that was hysterical.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Let's see what else we have. Okay, so here we have level 6. No problem, clearly. That amazing hand position here.
Yes.
Okay, and at level 7, they were thrown from the barrel.
And they set the bar because they were the first to go.
Yeah.
So I think everybody was wondering how quickly are these models going to fly off.
Yeah.
Hello, Zach Martinez.
Zach Martinez is here. Hey, Zach. How's it going? Welcome.
Yeah, here's kind of a close-up. You can see where it broke at that point. But yeah,
I think also I think either Tacos or in Michelle's Instagram account, I think they said something about, but the legs stayed on.
Yeah, you can see here. You can see the leg is still attached here. No problem. Yeah, so great job, Christine and Michelle. And next up, we have Burton, the bow-legged bull-riding bullfrog.
I just love the characters. All the characters that everybody came up with for this. So much fun.
This is adorable.
I like the sweater, or the shirt, how they made it look plaid. That's really hard to do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, this is like a great plaid pattern here. And the belt buckle, of course.
As a side note, they mentioned that they are cowboys and that on Brick and Nick's show, there was, I guess, they showed up with cowboy gear, I think, at the very first time you met. Is that right?
Yes, they did.
So they were in full regalia with cowboy hats, boots.
We would line dance. Yeah, on the weekends, we would line dance.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, because they're from Calgary, which is equivalent to our big Western states as far as from Canada. So they were big into this episode.
Very much. And notice the belt buckle on this one.
Yeah.
This is fabulous.
That's Austin and Justin's build.
Oh.
Yeah. It's the Squid.
the Stevens have this thing where they like to reference everyone else's builds in their build. And it started pretty early on. So
Interesting.
Even episode 1, they looked around the room and they're like, oh, let's put a little bit of their thing into our thing. So it's like really funny to be like, okay, that one's really obvious.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you know why they chose Austin and Justin for the belt buckle, or just
I
was
think
easy
the
to knock out of
complementary
school?
color with the sweater.
Also, isn't there an ongoing rivalry between the firefighters and the doctors?
There's an ongoing rivalry with everyone in there. I mean, I can't talk about it, but there's things.
Well, I think it was mentioned on Brick and Nick's show yesterday. So it's public. That statement I said about the firefighters versus the doctors was stated yesterday. But what Liz is referring to, I'm sure we can't talk about that right now.
It's a friendly rivalry.
Well, yeah, I'm sure there is, but like looking at the feet now, I see that they've put this on perhaps like the wrong way. So I don't know how helpful these stirrups are. But,
it should be fine. I mean,
it's a bullfrog. Bullfrogs can put their legs backwards and forwards,
Cool.
Yeah.
No, so the whole thing can rotate, so it should be fine. Yeah, see, it fit fine. But now you see how the legs fit the bull perfectly at that angle.
And
I love his face.
Yeah, there we go. There it is.
So cute.
It's so great.
It really is great.
Pinstriping too, yeah.
I love the little hat and the expression, like just A+. So here we go. Let's see. There we go.
Face is so perfect.
Yeah.
It is. Oh my goodness, I love that one.
And I like how they have a cowboy hat kind of on the side there.
Yeah,
like, hold my hat while I get on this bull.
Yeah.
Hello, Al.
Hey, Lena, how's it going? Some of my regulars are showing up.
That's awesome. New friends.
We've switched dates, so I think that a lot of people are confused about the dates.
Confused.
But good
I mean, we posted it 2 hours ago. I don't know why people are confused, but we'll try to post earlier next time, everyone.
It's okay. It's going to be Friday, so moving on from today. This is a new time for us because we've been doing them Thursdays, but yeah, Fridays moving forward.
But yeah, you can see, here it is at level 1, and it's still pretty stable at level 7. Like 2 shots there. Oh, okay. And at level 8, it crashed out, unfortunately.
It jettisoned, yeah.
Yeah, here's the point of breakage. And this was fun because, they were marveling at how well the structure held up.
So when Will picked it up and threw it, he dented the floor.
What?
Wow.
So he picked up, he's like, this is the strongest we've ever seen. And he went, trying to break it. He dented the floor.
Wow.
They tried to buff that out and they couldn't. Rub in that spot, they could not buff that out.
Yeah, because they're padded, they're slightly padded floors, but it's like, oh my gosh, it was dented.
Wow. Well, if you want to, know how to build a strong structure on Lego Masters and possibly cause an OSHA violation, this is it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Played on Technic.
Mm-hmm. All right, so moving on. Here's the build we got a taste of in the last build. Here's Billy the Squid. And this is Austin and Justin's. And I guess the squid is in scrubs here. Is that why they chose the color? Or
I have no idea.
It could be just what was available in the brick pit too, because we've heard that on other talk shows that you might go to the brick pit and have an idea, but then some other team is using that color, and then you have to pivot and pick another color that will work for you.
I love this color, and I love the complementary pink with it. It just, for me, this one the color it works for me. I loved it.
Here's his little bolo tie here. That's fun. And of course, he's got his little hat.
Adorable.
But oops, sorry. Yeah, here's a better view from the side. You can see it sits really well on the saddle here.
Yep. I
They
didn't
did such a
realize it
sick
had
sculpt
pink
on this.
legs in the front.
I know. It's like you get to see all these details.
Yeah.
Yeah, this they actually put the suction cups on the bottom of all the tentacles here, so that's why it stayed on longer than some of the other builds because it had that extra
Suction
suction.
cups?
Yeah.
Do
they're
we have
little,
suction cups as a
like
part in
the
Lego?
little disc radar discs.
Okay. Okay. I was gonna say, wait a minute. It's a part in Bricklink that I'm not familiar with.
Not yet. One day maybe.
Mhm.
But yeah, here's this massive eye, and here we are at level 1.
So awesome.
And
Okay, Jamie's
here we are
test
at
was
level-
amazing, Zach. I agree.
Yeah, we didn't get to see too much of this. We basically got like level 1, and then it was airborne.
Right. You didn't get the gradual stepping up of all of the different levels on, and we see that with all the episodes is that they spend more time, and usually if you know that it's going to be either somebody who's going home or somebody who's going to win, they spend more time on their builds. And then everybody in the middle, it's kind of like, oh, okay, there you go.
That was nice. Move on.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I just, it would have been nice to see kind of the connection points here, but that's okay. All right, up next is Nick and Stacy's Bella the Ballerina.
Mhm.
So
This one is so joyful.
Yeah, another one with a great face sculpturing.
Nick is really a master at building characters, and you can see that. Yeah,
just really simple, impactful build.
It was so ambitious to have the arm like this. Like
it held on to what, 9? That was nuts.
Yeah. This one made it to level 9, and it was the one to beat when they got to this point.
Yep.
So let's see. She is on the saddle. And there she is. I forget which number this is, but it just judging by the background, it looks like a higher one.
I like how they gave her this laughing face with their tongue sticking out. Like, I'm having so much fun on this bowl.
And here we are at level 9. Again, not a team that they spent a ton of time on, unfortunately, but you can kind of see the connections in here.
Right.
But yeah, that was cool. So we're going to move on to Radar, which is John and Xavier's. And you can see, I'm sure they had a ton of fun building this.
This was them to a T. Like their whole shtick was like, we love anime, and like as soon as we saw this, I was like, how did they do this? It was so polished. It was so clean.
I've never seen anything like this before, and it blew me away to see their final build.
Absolutely, the face, the legs, the spinning radar gun. Keep going. I want to see the spinning radar gun.
Yeah, so we can see a little bit of the face in here. There's some transparent tiles.
Classic anime eyes too.
And the hair hanging over the face here. Just a great use of these slopes, which are kind of they're a very specific angle. So they're hard to use a lot of at the same time. So it's great.
And the legs were really long too.
Let's see. Oh, I don't have a shot of it in this one, but yeah, you can see here. This also spun. This is a spinning radar hunting for the golden brick.
And when we were watching that live when it happened, we didn't really get the full effect of the radar gun, but watching it on the TV the other night, you could see every rotation, and it just looks so amazing.
Yeah.
So let's see. Here's level 2. And level 7. Here's you can kind of see it spinning a little bit. There it is. And then this was, what was it? Yeah, level 8. Unfortunately, they met their demise. But yeah, you can see how long the leg was here.
They were really cool. I can't believe they did that in the time we had.
Right?
Yeah. And like most of the bottom is still attached to the bowl. It's just the top section was the weak point.
Well, I think it goes back to the center of gravity part too, that some of the other teams really focus on it being real bottom heavy. So then that way the center of gravity kept it attached to the bowl longer.
Mm-hmm.
And the lack of connection points. I mean, that whole bottom layer is really just studs.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just a few holes on the side. And it seems to be, by watching this, that most people's stuff was failing where it was connecting by studs at the bottom of that saddle. It's just, it's hard. It's hard. And once that thing starts swinging around, like centrifugal force takes over.
Yeah, I can't imagine how hard this was, but yeah, great job. Okay, here we go. Finally.
This picture is hysterical. Oh my God,
and
there they are.
There they are.
Our special guest
people
today.
Same one.
Now we have to ask you, Liz, how many of those red hats do you have?
One.
So every time we see you at a con, you're wearing the same hat as you did on the show.
Wardrobe washed it every night, and it actually unraveled at one point, and they like threaded it and fixed it. So
oh wow.
Yeah. So I wear my Lego one sometimes. Like I have the Target brand Lego red hat, so I wear that one too. But this is they wouldn't let me wear that one because I guess everyone else was wearing the Target Lego wear. Like Carrie was wearing Lego stuff, and then someone else was wearing Lego stuff. So they're like, why don't you just stick with a plain red one?
Okay.
Does it have a sentimental value, or was it?
No, I'm just cold.
Okay.
So I have rain on. You're the first ones to ask me about the hat, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I've done so many stinking interviews. No one's asked me about the hat. I have Raynaud's disease, which literally means I have no circulation.
Oh,
so
wow.
it's just a lame way of saying I'm always cold. So when I got to set and I brought a hat, because I heard rumors that it was cold, I asked wardrobe, I was like, hey, can I wear a hat? And I was so glad I did when we were up front because it was freezing. And they're like, yeah, that's a look. Wear it for every episode.
It is a look. And you even created your sig fig specifically with that hat too.
Brilliant marketing. That was totally meant to be that way. Yes.
And we do ask different questions here on the Brickin Broadcast Network. So yay, we got one about the hat. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Look at the concentration. This was nearing the end when we were there.
Yeah, that's us going, are we going to get a face attached to this?
Yeah, I can see there's like
I need to get the vest on so you can see all the points. So Erin did the frame, and I was like, I need to do the vest. And I was trying to get it under the arms and put it in the back and wrap it around. I'm like, we're going to have nothing but a block.
And everybody wants to know too, at least I do, about the ruffling that you did on the vest.
What are these pieces here? I'm dying to know.
So when Erin and I were like, we're gonna do like this was Erin's idea to do the cowgirl, and I was like, I'm gonna make a vest. And this is before anything else. I ran to the brick pit and I got all of the capes.
Oh, nice. We thought they might be capes. We were speculating that they might be capes.
The brick pit had like maybe 200 red minifig capes, and I was like, I can use those for fringe. So that was the first thing I grabbed.
And that was also.
I remember someone walking by and seeing our stack of capes in the corner of our container, being like, "What are those for?" It's like, you'll see.
My short little rinky-dinky arms, but I made capes into fringe.
Oh, they're beautiful. And it also caught Amy's eye too. She was thrilled to see that.
I like the movement. I wanted movement.
Yes, and nice parts usage as well.
Yeah, like I'm so excited that they have capes in the brick pits. Y'all know I love capes as well. Capes, skirts, anything.
Getting them to stay attached was horribly difficult. I had to use tweezers to spread the little hole of the cape open because I had to do every other overlapping to get the overlay effect. And then I had to put the stud in to hold it in place. And so many of the studs would be like, dope, and they would pop off. And I'm like, I'm running out of time. Just stay put.
Oh, thanks, Monica.
Thank you, Monica.
Thank you, Zach.
Yeah, is that how you attach them? You put the whole like over stud and then stud like
so they were the 2-hole capes. So it wasn't just one hole on top, it was the 2 ones. Like they were like Mickey Mouse's thingies or whatever, where you can double layer them. So I had one hole here and then I would skip and put another one and then I would overlay and overlay and overlay. So that way they would stick. It wasn't just one hole.
Great technique.
I don't know. I just came up with it because I thought it would look cool.
Yeah, and it does.
Yeah, capes are the best. But okay,
And she
yeah.
has a
and
front
this-
butt. I totally take blame for the front butt. I did the pockets and just stuck them on, and I was like, "Oh wait, those are butt pockets," but whatever.
She's got a front butt.
She's got the old lady pooch. What can we say? She's reliving her heydays.
It all works. It all works.
Well, the face too is so happy and joyful, and you said you didn't think you'd have a face, so you guys pulled this off.
Erin did. And the hair. I
Yeah.
love Erin's hair.
Yeah. Like the hair is good, and this little ear with the earring is great.
Mm-hmm.
Liz.
No, I didn't do the earring, did I? I thought you did that.
I have no memory of that.
Well, just a blur, and then you were there.
You have
It
no
is-
idea. It was like it was one of my favorite builds, I think, but it was so rushed at the end because she spent so much time on the structure internal, and I spent so much time on the arms and legs making sure they weren't going to fall off. Like we were shaking the whole thing that when it came to be like, oh crap, it needs a face and a head. Are you going to do the head? I can't do the head. I got to do this. Fine, I'll do the head. It was insane. It was insane.
But it all came together in the end.
Yep.
Well, and we're gonna say our favorite word, cohesion, again. How we have, the slope of the ear and the mouth, and then the vest is all just really cool. Like just this simple detail, and
I
you're like,
love
"Oh,
that
that's
vest.
definitely a
I'm really proud of
vest."
That's our
Oh,
goal.
and the
Always
belt
people
buckle.
know what it is.
The belt buckle.
Erin, they never talked about the Spurs. Do you have any pictures of the boots?
Let's see. I don't think so. I don't know if they
Dang
showed
it.
that.
No,
I'm
Yeah,
just
close
crushed
to
they didn't
this.
talk about the internal structure because I was so proud of that.
Yeah, your internal
Here's-
structure was
Here's a
amazing.
little
Well, you
bit.
got some butt pockets here.
Yeah, I wanted.
So yeah, we had butt pockets and front back pockets. So those Spurs, I spent too much time on. They're just these little double star Spurs, and they kept falling off, and I kept reattaching them. They kept falling off, and when we mounted it, they kept falling off. And Amy was waiting for me to reattach. So if you move and it falls off when you're moving and it's not part of the challenge, they can just put it back on, right? They didn't fall off with the rest of the build. The Spurs that you looked at them, you sneeze wrong, they fall off at the table. And then when the bull was actually moving, they never fell off. Oh yeah, and you can see I did something else on the back. I have no idea what I did, but that looks cool.
Yeah. I wanted to ask about what this was, because this was our only shot of the reverse side of the build, and there's a lot going on here. So,
Erin, do you remember? Because I totally don't.
I've blocked that out too.
fair enough.
I think that's a row of capes, and then I honestly don't know, but that looks really cool. I'm quite happy with whatever the heck I did.
Mhm.
This is how I work. I am ADHD. I fly by the seat of my pants, so it's I can never recreate anything.
Oh, that's fair.
Well, it was
this
a
is
nice contrast too to the white.
Mhm.
Wow.
Anyway.
That's funny. I'm I really don't know how I did that. That's cool. Erin,
Yeah.
did you do it? 'Cause I don't remember.
I have no memory.
One thing that the grandpappies had mentioned is that a lot of builds look blocky because in the brick pit you don't have very many curves. So did you find that to be a challenge as well?
Yes and no. I mean, in this build, we knew we were going to be pretty blocky.
Just for strength. Just for
That
strength.
was for strength. Yeah.
Okay.
We really wanted the golden brick. I mean, Erin had that strength thing down, it was reinforced inside, but then I don't think there was a space that there wasn't a Technic bar reinforcing it.
Here, I have a thing. I built this to show my family what I did on the inside, but
oh,
I
cool.
don't know if you
Oh,
can see
here.
it.
Let's take a look. Nice.
So we built it so the interior is all Technic bricks and then the outside was smooth, but
Yeah.
in all the layers together. So multiple in different spots. So that's what held our structure together on the inside.
Mm-hmm. See,
Nice.
this is why we have interviews. So we get the inside scoop, literally.
Right?
And
That's
Zach
awesome.
Martinez also mentions it's a very reminiscent of a Western style shirt. So nice work.
Mhm. But yeah, this made it to level 7, so pretty high up there. Level
You guys
7,
have no
I noticed.
idea. So story time. When it
Mhm.
started, did we think it was going to last that long, Erin? Oh, no. You knew both of us. You knew both of us.
See, they told us just before they started judging that if parts of it starts falling off, that we would be over, and that face I felt like the face was not on there very tightly. It was just attached to Technic structure with the pins, with the stud on the outside. But I mean, in several locations, but I really thought that once that thing started spinning around, the face was just going to pop off and we'd be disqualified. But the face held on the whole time. And then it really got to just go its full run. So every level, we flipped out. Like...
It literally lasted level 1, and we were like, "Oh my god, we made level 1," which was just like, but we didn't know at that point what was going to last. Because I mean, who's ever done this before, right?
Yeah.
Patrick, hi.
Yeah, but yeah, I noticed like on the show, it seemed like level 6 was the point where or level 6 to 7 was a point where it stopped like rocking back and forth and started going, around in a circle.
6 to 7 is where like the real bucking and spinning started. And then like 7 to 8 is where it got really herky jerky. So that was why a lot of builds didn't make it past 7, is because that's when it started doing the quick stops.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
So, oh my gosh. So yeah, we celebrated every single level. There's no acting. Like we were still like, holy crap, she's still hanging on. This is amazing.
Now, did you name your cowgirl?
Yeah.
Rootin' Tootin'.
Rootin' Tootin' Tootie.
Tootie. Okay.
Our retired cowgirl is reliving her glory days.
Go Tootie.
Is Tootie an actual person, or did you just like the alliteration? No?
It just worked. It just sounded good.
Okay, Erin's way better at stories than me, because every time I would come up with something, I would forget it the moment we were in front of George, in front of the judges.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was our difference. I would be like, okay, I got the story, you get the technical description. And I'd sit there and I'd like be repeating it over and over in my head what I was going to say. And she's like, I'm just going to wing it.
I did. That's like, well, I do better like reality, just telling it like it is, like winging from the. And then, so when we did the very first one, I was like, rock star. It's a space ukulele.
Yeah, that first one, you focus so hard on your build. I completely forgot we had to like talk about it. So it's like, oh, what are we going to say?
No one prepares you that you need to be a storyteller as well.
Yep. Yeah. They don't write that. You have to come up with it.
And I think if I remember right from your previous interviews, that they don't give you a chance to let you know when you're going to actually be going up, because that one episode where you were first and you had this kind of shocked look on your face, like, oh, we're first. And then you're right there on the spot and you have to do pitch.
I don't know. Like, so we were last with the Rockstar Ukulele. We were last. And it was a long time waiting for judging. So walking in and being like, oh my God, we're first. That was not like that was relief. That was such relief. That was a very genuine reaction of like, oh my God, we're first. We don't have to wait for like ever.
However, with that one, that was episode 2. With that one, we had to move our build, and that was
terrifying.
Tricky.
We had to move it, and I mean, we're still arguing about how big the base plate was. Did you get any specs on how big those base plates were? They were like 3 feet by 4 feet or something like that. They were humongous. Just know that.
They were enormous.
Yeah. I think someone mentioned it was 3 48 by 48 plates, like 3 by 3 by 2 of those. Does that sound correct?
Yeah, it was huge. Just know that burps were the only way that I could think of to fill that space in like what little time we had left.
No.
But yay, Rootin' Tootin' Tootie with her front butt. And I did start sculpting the edge, and then I was like, I don't have time for this. I wanted to give her some old lady hips, like literal saddlebags, but we didn't have time.
Well, you did an amazing job.
Yeah, you can see where that's, the plates are raised here. You can see where
I started and then I abandoned it because we were running out of time. So
whole goal, finish. Don't finish, you're going home.
Well, you're still in it. You're still in it as of episode 3.
So excited.
Yay!
Cactus is here. He wants to see his. His is next.
Yeah.
Oh, is that Patrick, Lego Jedi Master?
Yes, it is.
Is that you, Patrick? Hello, Patrick. We talked earlier with the grandpappies, so welcome to the stream.
Front butt. It was amazing.
Front butt.
Yeah.
Hashtag
again,
front butt.
This was the only shot of we got that,
Oh, I got a screenshot of her falling off. It was really funny.
Okay.
Spaced out
Yeah.
cowboy.
Yeah, let's talk about the spaced out cowboy.
Yay, Patrick's here.
Yeah, welcome, guys. So yeah, here's Carrie and Patrick just building away on this amazing like space cowboy robot.
These guys are so
but-
photogenic. Seriously. I love them.
we kind of talked about this on the last stream, but who is it? Justin and Carrie have the same haircut.
No, Austin.
Austin from
Carrie.
Austin.
Sorry.
Yes, Austin, that one of the doctors. That's right. Yeah, we saw a side by side shot
Mhm.
where there was, I think Austin was in the back when
Yeah, he was, like, in the
Carrie and
background.
Patrick were presenting the grandpappies.
Crazy.
And yes, I will always be your grandpappy. That's awesome. They shared that story, Liz, about you and Patrick. And
Well, I mean, there's still cast members who are still like, we haven't heard you sing. And I was like, well, you haven't asked me. Patrick asked. So we were
Oh, was
just
it?
sitting in the hotel lobby and I had my ukulele, and Erin we always learned to bring our ukuleles wherever we went. So he wanted, I think it was Somewhere Over the Rainbow. And I just was like, I know that I can just Google the chord so I don't forget it. So I played it and it was so sweet to see. And he
loved your voice too.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank
Yeah.
you.
We
I feel
talked
like-
about that earlier, Patrick. But yeah, it's a very special moment.
Well, and I told him, like, I don't have any living grandparents. So they're now my grandpappies.
Oh.
Yeah. That's so sweet.
All right. Well, let's
I
move on a
miss
little
them.
bit. Here's the spaced out cowboy. And there's like a lot of detail in this.
There is.
There was fringe, that little white and blue fringe, like moved really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot of detail in these legs too.
It was
But yeah.
so much, it was so big. You guys put down so much brick so fast.
Right?
Well, I think too that one of them worked on the head. I think Patrick, worked on the head, and then Carrie worked on the body, and then they got in between and then attached at the midsection.
But I also like that they included a bow tie on their character.
Yes.
to match,
Yes,
you know.
the bow tie on the character was perfect.
Aw.
And you're absolutely right. Every moment was and is special to me
Yeah,
and to
Definitely.
the whole cast. I mean, you bonded
Yeah.
so well, all of
We
you.
did.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, people know we can say we had a week of quarantine together because
Mm-hmm.
COVID was still going on. And during that week, we were instantly a family. I think they were like, try to stay separate for like 3 hours, and then they just gave up. So, I mean, it was amazing. And everybody, I mean, now we see each other at the cons, and you
Yep.
witnessed us. We
Oh,
are,
I saw
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Definitely.
there is
we
no
saw
acting. There is
the
only genuine love.
shenanigans.
And
The
there's-
got to-
shenanigans.
No.
I don't know what shenanigans you are referring to. There's no
Oh,
shenanigans.
this is the late night shenanigans.
Well,
You
no,
were
not
all
even
very
that.
well
It's,
behaved with the public. Yes, you were very well behaved with the public.
I'm very well behaved all the time. I am a teacher.
Yes, you are.
I don't know. I love the blind build and us just harassing you guys. Like just the other two, we were harassing everyone, just the other Lego Masters. I don't want to offend other people.
Okay, I had a strategy. Thank you very much. I thought mine would win if I just shoved brick on brick on brick on brick because I was willing to take the time penalty for
Time
being
penalty.
done fastest, but that didn't work. I thought it was a solid strategy, man.
Well, yeah. But yeah, let's take another look at the cowboy here at some of the details. These Technic pieces are really interesting here.
There was so much going on.
Yeah, and these like just to get this like effect that must have taken a long time, but it looks really cool on these legs
Mhm.
here.
Forever.
Just the dots.
Right. And
I
I,
love all the
if I
colors.
remember right, Patrick is a big Star Wars fan too. So space and space themed objects. This is right up your alley, having a space alien.
Oh, Patrick.
I was always asleep during the BBB, the late night goings on. Is that the beer brick build? Is that what
I
that
think it was a
is?
paired build, we called it.
Oh, okay. Well, but on the other hand, he was always the first in the lobby because he said he would go to bed early, but he'd always be the first in the lobby to greet everybody too as they came down from the elevators.
And
Yeah.
I was always one of the last ones because Liz overslept every single day. Erin got to the point where she was like, I'm going to mom you again. And she would like bang on my door. And then she'd be like, "Do you have your key?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry, I forgot." It's the ADHD. I'm like, "I forgot my key." She had to get my key one time. I actually gave her a key to my room.
That worked out. That worked out great. Oh, I did that to her in Seattle too. I went up to her room. We were leaving. Like, "Do you have your key?" And she's like, "Stop calling me."
It was like no time had passed. I was like, "Thanks, Mom."
Well, speaking of moms, Emily, I think you also referred to Emily as like the mom for everybody too, because
Oh my God, she was behind me before every time we walked on set, and she would like rub my shoulders, and stroke my hair, and be like, "Are you excited? Are you nervous?" I was like, "Oh my God."
Yeah, I got a chance to meet with her as well, and she's just adorable. I mean, both her and Liam are just amazing.
Yeah, they were really cool.
She's so genuine and sweet and uplifting. She has something positive to say to everyone, but she's so authentic in it that she's so refreshing that way.
And she's very
let's
humble.
go with the pictures. Come on.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
I know, Remy. Let's go.
Yeah. All right. So here's our saddle cam shot. The legs were an afterthought. That's good to know.
They were required though.
Yeah, but putting maybe that many there or something. Yeah.
But yeah, here's the only saddle cam shot we got, and yeah, unfortunately at level 4, it sheared off the saddle.
It's a tough connection,
right?
Every one of them.
Yeah.
Everybody
we actually started that way, and then we were like, "Crap, we need to reinforce this with the saddle."
And I think if I remember right, Patrick had also mentioned that they knew it was going to be a little top heavy, but they didn't expect it to pop off that quickly.
Sorry, I'm not sure what happened.
But you just don't know. I mean, how many times are you going to be asked to build to a bucking bronco, right?
Well, that's why I think I love this challenge, because it was kind of an even playing field in my head.
Right, because
I was like, who's practice building for this? Nobody. So like, whatever happens, happens.
Exactly.
That's one of the things I love about the show, is that there's challenges that no one's ever done before. So it really levels the playing field.
This was ingenious too. And I think the other kind of, since Patrick's in the chat, that they were excited about this because they're from Knoxville and Nashville, right? So it's, bucking broncos or something they grew up with.
Well, I'm sorry. I don't know why I got cut off there for a second, but I was just going to say, in season 3 of Australia, when they had the shaking challenge, the ones that won it, the team that won it, had the heaviest, most massive build. So it's interesting that like the winning strategy there didn't do as well in this like similar challenge.
No, so if brains were not fried from lack of sleep and like chaos, the way to go is the low center of gravity with the triangle shape, and then it would have balanced better or whatever. But whatever, we just needed a strong structure, and we did it. I'm super proud of us.
Yeah. So yeah, you can see the little bit of the internal structure here.
I mean, it was very strong.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, great job, Carrie and Patrick. And we will move on to Dave and Emily's Toby the Pig.
Love that pig.
I think it's awesome.
His characters, and Dave is the fastest builder I've ever seen. Like, I know he didn't win the speed build challenges, but like we were practicing building ball, like building the brick ball and everything. And Erin and I would take our time, and then Dave's like, "Oh," and he'd do it in like 15 minutes. Like, where did that come from? He's so
well, and Dave has been to BrickCon many times. He's kind of a fixture because they're based out of Vancouver. Yeah, and BrickCon is kind of one of their home cons, that and BrickCon. So I've seen Dave before at the BrickCon conventions, but just getting a chance to meet both him and Emily together and in this kind of framework, it was great to do that.
Being with them all day, every day was like an episode of Schitt's Creek, because she was hysterical. No, David, I don't think we should do this way. Or yes, that's amazing, David. But oh my God, I love them. They were like
it's true. Right. And it's true. They do carry maple syrup with them all the time. And this was on yesterday's episode with Brick and Nick when Emily was like, "Why didn't you come to my room? I had, maple syrup with me." She uses it for everything.
It's amazing. I love their facial features too. Like, it's so cute.
So adorable.
Amazing.
Yeah. Sorry, Lego Jedi Master. If you want any of these pictures, just send us a DM on Instagram and we can get them to you. That's no problem. But yeah, I love this face. I love the eyes and just the fun mouth, and it's.
I had
great.
no idea that people, like, everyone is like, oh, it was too light a structure. Of course it's going to fail. I'm like, I had no idea it was going to fail. I thought it was amazing.
Right?
Yeah.
They were across from us and we watched them, like, but I'm like, damn, theirs looks so good.
Yeah. Then, they went with the party hat, another team to make a hat. So that's always fun. He's got his little cupcake here and the ears.
Height requirement much?
Yeah. Well, we never get the unspoken requirements. Can you talk about that or not?
I figured it out last season during season 2. Do you remember the hats off or hats incredible challenge?
Yeah.
So with that challenge, all of a sudden you see everyone's now has a separate accessory, right? They've all got their hats, but then there's like a pair of sunglasses and a bracelet and like, what is going on? So that was my first inkling, like, oh, there's other stuff going on that we, the audience, are not privy to. And I mean, it's not any big secret. So whatever challenge there is, there's always a list of like fine print rules. And that includes heights, weights, what it must include, ways it can be built, things that you can do, things you can't do. So that's why the things are the way they are.
See, that's interesting. I think people would really like to know those specifications.
I know. And I, honest to God, we don't remember them half the time.
Oh, that's okay. But yeah, I love this pig. I love his little sheriff star, just for no reason, and his belt buckle is great too. Were these what? It looks like this is like a different. Oh, okay. Were these chrome pieces or metallic pieces?
I don't know.
I don't remember there being metallic pieces, but there's a lot I don't remember.
I know this was a while ago. And then with all the stress and stuff, like I said, I don't remember Amy asking me for the vest. I'm like, that's really awesome. I wish I remembered that.
Well, now you can send her a vest of superhero.
I know. So I'm actually seeing someone tomorrow who lives in Denmark with Lego. So I'm going to be like, dude, can you like hook me up with a way to send Amy a vest? Because that'd be hysterical. I think.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. But yeah, let's see. Here's our saddle cam. And unfortunately,
I love the expression.
Yeah, the saddle cam. But yeah, unfortunately, it fell over at level 2.
We were all shocked when that happened. Honestly,
yeah,
we were legit like, "Are you serious?" That was nuts.
Yeah, that was pretty shocking that it fell off so early.
But let's see. Here's our final slow-mo. It's
like, oh no!
It looks like he's crying as he falls off. That's a great.
Yeah, it's like, I can't hold on.
It's definitely like it sees the ground. And like,
yeah, it's a perfect expression on the face there.
Anyway, great job, Toby. You hung on as long as you could, and we all love you.
Love it.
But yeah, unfortunately, no. But now here's Kelsey, the Cactus Queen.
The illustration's cracking me up on that.
The illustration, it makes it seem like the cactus is like part of a mob on its way to burn down the home of a mad scientist or something.
I love the illustrations. They're hilarious.
Yeah.
I do too. And when they do animations too, that's always fun.
Yes.
Yes, the animations are phenomenal.
It's Brandon and Greg working on their Cactus Queen.
Oh my God, their shirts match their build.
Yeah, it's like kind of.
We did that episode 1. We totally matched our build.
We did.
We did. We had the red, white, and blue.
Yeah. Let's see. So yeah, here's Kelsey in her full glory.
I thought she was Oscar the Grouch. Again, they were on the other side of the room, and from a distance, I was like, "What are they making?
What is that?" Yeah.
No, well,
look at all the spikes on that for the cactus. Yeah,
and she's got her little crown here, so you can tell that she's royalty.
Prickly.
See, I never saw it up this close, so cool.
Yeah, this is a great face. I really enjoy the combination of it's recessed.
I like the teeth in the mouth.
And
Yeah,
thank
it
you,
is like
Fox, for the
key.
photos.
Can we have the Mendemol shine, please?
I know, right?
We did get our build
we need
shot.
to double check with Endemol Shine. I think JC would probably have to send them to you directly.
Well,
Yeah,
you-
I think he sent us our beauty shots last time.
Well, he
Yeah.
he sent me like 20 photos, but most of these are screenshots that I took.
Oh,
so
okay,
if y'all want,
Erin and I were
any of
sharing
these,
screenshots last night. That's hysterical.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
no,
yeah.
Remy does a good job on screenshots. So this is a mix of the two.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, all of these.
Oh, yeah, I
all
can
of
see it
these
says at the
types
top,
of photos-
screenshot.
Oh.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I thought I edited that out, but that's fine. But yeah, all of these
That's
are
right.
behind the scenes from Fox,
Now we
so we
know.
thank you for that. These candid moments here.
Mhm.
But yeah, this was the only build that tried to incorporate like a different kind of
Motion.
body.
Yeah.
I
So
don't even know
Brendan
what to
was
call
so
it.
mad. He's such a genius that when this was over, Brendan was literally planning in his head, like, why did it fail? And then 2 days later, he was like, I figured out why it failed. I'm going to build it again and test it.
Wow.
Like, he is so
Wow.
deep in this that he really, really is like that engineer brain. And I was blown away by the fact that he was doing that.
Yeah.
He's like, it was one piece, and if I put that there, he tried to explain it to me, and I was like, dude, that was like 2 days ago. My brain is not there anymore.
I gotta say,
but-
he's really good for that. Like, if you ask him the technical, like, how did you technically do that? He's so good at explaining it that it's like it makes you feel like it's kind of like, wow, I hadn't thought of that.
Exactly. Like, I feel really dumb right now.
Yeah,
Because the way he explains it, it sounds so simple, and you're like, why didn't I think of that?
This is the closest shot I could get of it, like in motion, doing what it was supposed to do before like going back to the other side. But yeah, I have no
It was
idea what
really
this
cool.
mechanism is. It's just wild.
It was just a lot of green for me personally, aesthetic wise. I was like, what is
Too much
it?
green.
I really thought it was Oscar the Grouch.
And you could see the disappointment on his face because he thought he had it nailed with, the rocking mechanism. So that doesn't surprise me that you mentioned that he thought about it over and over again and is like, oh, that's what I forgot.
Now, on the other hand, Greg, his brother, lives in Massachusetts. So, of course, I gave Greg flack. I was like, oh, you guys were at level 6, huh? Oh, gee. The other Massachusetts team was level 7. How about that?
That's funny that you can trash talk with your colleagues that way.
Okay, but only we can try. The second someone outside says something, we'll be like, let's go. It's family.
Yeah, I was not ever going to say anything bad about any of these builds.
No, it's because we're family and we've all been through this like together. So I get you. It's just really funny. I adore Greg and Brendan, and I actually got to see Greg on premiere day because we were on our local news channel together, and it was really
fun.
Because Erin's like 3 hours away from Boston,
but still in Massachusetts.
Technically,
I'm 10 minutes from the New York border. That's how far I am.
Wow. But
there's
you're
like
still
Boston
in Massachusetts, Mom. It counts. It counts.
Erin.
Fortunately, it's a small state. I can go from one end to the other easily, and I do it a lot. It's a good day trip.
Well, anyway, great job, Brandon and Greg. Maybe, hopefully we can have them on at some point, and they can like talk us through, like they can bring their own slides and be like, all right, look, this is how it connects.
Oh, that would be great.
They would, and I'm sure they have it all drawn up now in studio.
Now I know that Fox won't let you recreate your build, but you could do it in miniature scale, right? Because I know that's what Brickin has been doing, is little mini builds.
I didn't know we couldn't recreate the build.
Yeah.
That's news to us. I wouldn't want to, nor would I know how, to be honest. Because
I heard that on another channel that they didn't want you to recreate the build, but you can do it on mini scale side.
Excellent. Good to know.
Cool.
Today I learned.
Well, all right. Well, anyway, that's great job, Brandon and Greg. And moving on to Emily and Liam's Jackalope Jill.
So cute.
The eyeballs.
Yeah.
So cute.
Why? Wait. Go back to the cartoon.
Yeah,
the cartoon, like Oh my
They could
goodness.
have made those eyes look so much more fun. Like that is just like a mystery jackalope.
That is a determined jackalope.
Yeah, that is a jackalope that's like, I'm gonna eat you. Meanwhile, their jackalope is like, wee!
Yeah, it's really great. You know, I love massive creatures. This was a great creature. And yeah, here it is. Here she is.
And that goes back to the height too. That's why the ears are so tall, is they
Those
had to
ears
meet
were
the height
jealous of.
requirement.
That was one of their limbs, and let me tell you, afterwards we asked him, we're like, how did you attach those? And he explained it, and it was amazing. I mean, those yeah they go all the way through the body. Like,
Wow.
They are anchored to the bottom, and then like the support is plate interlocked all the way up. They were not going anywhere.
those
That
things were not
sounds
going anywhere.
that sounds similar to what they did with Apocalypseburg, because Apocalypseburg has those Technic beams going all the way down to the base, and then having, I think, the Statue of Liberty hand kind of attached to all of
I
that.
haven't built that one. I don't know, but I'm going to.
Yeah, it's an epic build. But that's good to know. That's good info.
Jackalope was
Um,
phenomenal. Yes.
Yeah.
they
Anyway,
went-
here's our saddle cam. That's the only saddle cam shot we got, unfortunately.
Bummer.
I didn't know they had unicorn horns either. In fact, this is the first time I've noticed the unicorn horn, Zach.
Well, we're all learning something.
Well, and this was also something Amy had not been familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because she was from Scotland.
Right. But having this kind of mythical creature was fun.
But yeah, here you can see it at level 9. It's not very blurry because it's really not going anywhere.
It was solid. It was so solid. There was no movement in that one.
It was so exhilarating to see builds get to that point. Like,
Yeah.
once they
We
once
were
that
all
really
waiting
started
for one to
moving-
get to level 10.
But yeah, here's level 10, and
And it came off all in one piece too.
yeah, most of it is still intact.
The
Yeah.
legs were still there.
Well, true.
So
You
I
can
think,
see-
Erin, do you remember? I think they had to leave it on level 10 for quite a while because they were like, we're going to run it till it falls off because congratulations, you reached level 10. And they're like, let's run it till it falls. And it like ran a while, if I recall.
Really?
more than the 10 seconds it was supposed to run. That's for sure.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, again, small print rules. Like every level had to be a certain amount of time before they would bump it up a level. And I just remember this one was like, this is really hanging on. And then finally it went off, but it seemed like in my brain forever. It was that well built.
Wow.
But yeah, you can see
Professional bull
remnants
rider.
of their columns. Yeah, PBI. Yeah, so that is the end of our builds, and the top 2 teams here were
The
Emily and
Bullfrog.
Liam and Steven and Steven, the Bullfrog. Yeah.
Oh my god, this is the one shot you can't see us. Only when the Stevens block us.
Oh yeah, I think yeah, this is here you are. We got you like right here.
Yep, there's Erin.
We can
Yeah, there
see
you are.
Erin's arm. And they
of course-
also walked out like cowboys. The
Yes, they did. They wanted to wear the cowboy hats. I think they got told no because they would interrupt the firefighter look. But they had them in our little holding area.
Mhm.
Oh, nice.
That's cool. They couldn't let them just go full cowboy for one episode, or
I don't know.
I think the lighting, it probably would have cast a shadow over their face.
Yeah.
that's true.
And I agree,
but
Zach. All nice builds. Amazing from all
Thank
the
you,
teams.
Zach.
That's why they're on Lego Masters.
Mhm.
I think it was after this build that I felt like the imposter syndrome kind of might have gotten a little less. Like, Erin, did you feel that way?
Yeah, I feel like the first, especially like the first build, I'm like, what are we doing here? Oh my god, these people are so good. Oh my god, I don't deserve to be here. But like this, between the second build and the third build, I was like, you know what? We're rocking this. Like,
Yes, you are. Girl power.
We walked into that second build interview saying we should have won. I'm like, we did not do power lines. Our build was completed, and like we had a clear story. Like, come on, we should have won.
Oh man, I really wanted
last week. We had the when we did our review episode, we came to the conclusion that dinosaurs love electricity because of all the other builds.
Well, and that goes back to those fine print rules for why we all kind of had similar builds.
Right.
Well, yeah, I'm sure you had to put the devices a certain way, and you couldn't like put them sideways or things like that.
And there was like a mischief but no mayhem kind of rule.
Okay, that makes sense too. You don't want to go like too far with the destruction.
Yeah. No maiming people.
Yeah, we didn't want any like King Kong destruction. It's a kids show. You know, we got to keep it whimsical and no major carnage ripping out guts.
Thank you, Lego Jedi Master, and we'll be in touch if you want to be on the show. Definitely. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Patrick.
Have a good wedding tomorrow. Yes, and I know it's late for you because it's what 10:30, going on 10:30 East Coast time.
Yeah, it's 10:26.
Yeah, so we're gonna wrap this up real soon. But thank you so much for hanging out with us.
But yeah, so anyway, here's our top two teams. Another medals for the American and Canadian teams this week.
We do
kind of
Olympic
medal count, you know.
So we've been doing first, second, and third place, and then assigning them to the countries, and then at the end of the season, we'll see who came out.
We'll tally it up, and we'll see.
That's awesome.
So yeah, Emily and Liam won. They got the golden brick. Here's our Michelangelo moment. I think this is our Sistine Chapel moment between Liam and Will, and great job, guys.
Yes,
exactly. Every time the golden brick comes out, we had to do it. Yeah.
You hear it in your head. It's like really loud, you know, when you see it on screen and the ding. And
they did light it up though in the studio too. I was shocked. I thought that was like a TV after effect. It's like, nope, there's a random light on the brick.
Oh, that's cool. No, that's really awesome. But yeah, so great job, Emily and Liam. And unfortunately, our bottom two teams were Dave and Emily and Patrick and Carrie. And the team that went home was Patrick and Carrie. And, you know, obviously we all love these guys. We hate to see them go.
Yeah.
That was rough every single episode. That like from the first one, it was like a punch to the gut. Like, wait, they're actually leaving.
Yeah, like I couldn't believe that the first episode. So I can't
and
imagine
it's exactly what you see when they are gone. We do not see them again.
Right.
Wow.
It is a little traumatizing.
That's especially you and Patrick also formed this really tight bond too. So that must have been hard for you to see him go.
I called him Mustafar Man because I met him in Virginia and we were the only people who dressed up. So I mean, I felt like Patrick was like we had this little bond, and then at the hotel with like he's the only one who asked me to sing for him. So I mean, we sang and it was fun.
Yeah, he's very sweet.
Yeah.
He is the sweetest, most kind-hearted man ever. And like I told you, I don't have any grandparents, so he was my grandpappy too.
Aww.
We actually rode from the airport when we first arrived in Atlanta. We were picked up by a production van, and it was me, Liz, and Patrick. And that was that was my introduction to Patrick. And it was so, I won't forget that conversation. It was amazing. He started going into the history of rap and talking about Grandmaster Flash. And like, I was like, what is happening right now?
And I was like, Erin, I know this guy. I'm like, he's a DJ.
He is a wealth of music knowledge, and I loved that he would have like daily music trivia, and I used to please him a lot by knowing the answers, and I'm like, no, I'm a fan.
But yeah, anyway, here's their minifigures.
See, we don't get to see this either.
Yeah.
Construction.
Right, AFOL Unite.
AFOLs Unite, exactly. But wait, there's more.
But wait,
a big cliffhanger. A big cliffhanger.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
What are we talking about? Okay, spoiler alert.
Yeah. So
Yep, there's a big, big, big cliffhanger at the end of this episode. And there
So
it
these
is.
guys, yeah.
Those guys.
They said, we
Ethan.
have another team joining.
Mhm.
We were, oh my God. Reality TV is going to reality. This was insane.
Yeah, this is Ethan and Dom. And of course, you know, reality being reality TV, they frame this as kind of a villain entrance moment, which I wasn't really crazy
They weren't
about.
villains.
Because,
They're not.
well, no, but
villains.
I'm saying that's how we know that they're not
Monica,
villains.
we love them.
Yeah, I'm sure that everyone on the cast loved them.
Yes.
But I'm saying that, you know, editing has, you know,
It's a cliffhanger.
framed them that way, which is not cool. But yeah, welcome Ethan and Dom. Let's see what else we have here. Here's the shot of them.
Now
Oh
here's
yeah, there's that Target Lego collection in action.
Yep. Well, here's another behind the scenes little bit of tidbit is that Dom does not like to wear sweatshirts. And that he was forced to wear sweatshirts on the show, and there's all the lights and everything that are on him. So on top of all the stress, he's sweating even more when we see future episodes.
That was a very thin sweatshirt, though. That wasn't like a thick, heavy one. So whereas I was always cold, he was always hot. But I mean, it depended on where you were in the room. The front of the room was a lot colder than the back of the room. The back of the room was sweltering.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I can understate the absolute shock of them walking through that door, though. Like they did not show the actual reaction, but it's actually one of my favorite moments from the show because I mean, shock factor. We knew who they were, and we were actually, I think we overwhelmed them with our welcome.
Ethan could not say his name.
The poor kid.
Poor kid, because he really thought that they would go on stage and we would hate them. He felt like, yes, you did get to skip 3 challenges. Okay, we're there. But it's not your fault. Okay. No. Like, we still love you. Right. You're amazing. And so he was so taken aback with us being like, oh my God, it's you, that he was just like, I'm Ethan. I'm Ethan. And they had to do it.
Yeah, he mentioned that in the interviews with the media team, that he was just so dumbstruck that he had a hard time remembering what his name was, and that it took multiple takes.
Poor Thomas, and they're like, you're Ethan. Your name is Ethan. It was hilarious.
It was the sweetest thing ever because, like, Liz and I, we've performed. Like, I've been performing my whole life. Liz has been on stage for years. Like, I don't think he's actually been on stage before. Like, he's an amazing TikToker, but essentially he does that in his own house, you know, and he's talking to his phone. But like, this was like walking out in a crew of people, like screaming and applauding, like losing their minds. And it was like.
So in the edit of the episode, they show like Tacos and Michelle. They're like, and then they show everyone else like.
Yeah, this is
a mixed bag.
Yeah, like they really set it up to be like, oh, they're adversarial, but we all know that that's definitely not the case, you know. And like, just as AFOLs, like that's not why we watch the show, you know. We don't want that drama. You know, if I want that kind of stuff, I'll go watch F-Boy Island. You know, I don't need it in my Lego show.
Nope. And then I saw Ethan again at Brick Rodeo, and I saw Dom again in Brick Fair, Virginia. And it's like I got to meet their families, and they are like, because this is their first time away from home.
Oh, nice. You were able to be there for them too.
Well,
and then they were our van mates.
Oh, cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, we celebrated Ethan's birthday while he was there.
Oh, fun.
Yep. So I think it was literally right after this. We were like,
right after this.
Because I think he was turning 19, like literally the day after this or something. We're like, oh my God, it's your birthday and you're here on your first trip away from home with all of us. So we were all like, production, I think, got us cupcakes that were amazing. And they got you a gluten-free one too.
I had gluten-free cupcakes.
Oh, nice.
So yes, we love them. It was a surprise. Yes, I'm a little salty. They got to skip 3 things, but whatever. We still love them.
Well, but then
Well,
they don't understand the brick pit. They have some catching up to do, so it's
Right.
not necessarily an advantage for them.
Exactly.
Right?
They don't know what the judges are looking for. They don't know the
Right.
layout of the room. They don't know the brick pit. They don't know the supply issues. They don't know the best way to go to the brick pit when there's a million cameras around. I mean,
and
yeah,
you know,
it's hard to go cursory.
you know, and
It's hard.
they, you know, they weren't at BrickCon, you know, this past week, unfortunately. You know, I'm sure it was like harder for them to like keep that secret. Yeah.
That's a great observation because for all of us, for the rest of us on the show, like we've been very excited for when they introduce the teams and to see our team photos and then to see our team introduction videos as it was leading up to this. And these poor guys have had to keep this secret
Yes.
for so long. And
A lot
we're all on the
longer.
group chat. We all chat on the group chat daily. And like we're all like, oh, I can't wait to get more photos, or oh, I can't wait to see this. And they still can't even tell the world they're on the show.
They're
Right.
like, I would like to exist.
Yeah.
Right? And then now on the flip side, like you said, they've been introduced as villains. And like for those of us, you know, in the family, like it's so hard to see that. Like I've seen it on the internet today. There's a lot of people who are angry. There's a lot of people who are saying negative things about it. And in my brain, I'm saying, at least they're talking about the show. Any buzz about the show is good. It's good for the show. But like, have to remember, these guys are kids. Like they're 19 years old. Like
Yeah, exactly.
they're really genuinely good people, and it hurts your soul. Like I saw Dom's mom commenting on some of the nastiness last night, and my heart went out to her because like I'm a mom too. If someone was saying negative stuff about my kid online, like I would go full on like mama bear mode. Like no, like
I didn't see it as a villain moment. I really just thought of it as like, oh, now we have some new competitors, almost like celebrities coming on, like you would see on other reality shows.
We were very curious, like, how is this going to be framed? So imagine our shock when they use our little description of them as the intro. I was like, oh, dip.
I didn't download the TikTok app till the day I met them. I'm like, okay, you're on TikTok. I want to support you. So I like downloaded.
No, it's really true because I did know who both of them were going on the show. And I remember seeing them and being like, I think those guys are from TikTok. Yeah. And then lo and behold, it's like, oh my God, it is them. And like Ethan is a phenomenal builder. Like he does characters like nobody's business. And he can do like motorized. I learned how to do tensegrity from him. So I'm like, and you, Erin, but I'm like, oh my God.
He talks about his tensegrity TikTok. We had a chance to meet with them yesterday and super excited to see what they're going to build because their energy is amazing. Yeah. And I think at least my takeaway from them appearing wasn't necessarily that they were villains, even though they may have cut it that way. I really saw them more as, oh, look, we have some celebrities in the house. And let's see what they're going to do versus what these Lego masters are going to do. So in a way, they're going to be held to a higher standard, I think.
Exactly.
And that's going to be harder for them. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes.
But yeah, let's get to know Ethan and Dom a little bit. Sorry. Let's take a look at this Heart of the City model, which is amazing.
Right.
I've seen it in person like 3 times now. It was at Brick Rodeo. It was in Brick Fair, Virginia.
Wow. Nice.
And the heart in the middle spins.
Yeah. Let's take a look.
So this is their Instagram account, right?
This is Ethan's Instagram.
Like yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That's Brick Rodeo.
Oh, very cool.
Sorry. I need to get on TikTok. I apologize. But yeah, their
Lego
TikTok links are on their Instagram. So you can follow them that way.
But Ethan and I hung around a lot at Brick Rodeo, but it was so hard because I could be like, oh yeah, I'm on the upcoming season. And they're like, well, how do you know him? And I'm like, oh, he's a really awesome TikToker who I just had to meet.
You had to have your canned line because you couldn't say anything.
No,
yeah, that's hard.
That's hard. And then we teamed up and actually won the Master Build Challenge with Richard and Flynn together.
Oh, nice.
And let's also look at Dom's Instagram. And again, you can find their TikToks through their Instagram. Yeah. And this is a really cool like Ghost Rider build. It says here it only took him like 2.5 hours to put this together, but it's really pretty sweet.
Dom is amazing. Hung out with him again in Virginia. Like, how do you two, like, age difference? Like, you're old enough to be. And I was just like, oh, that social media. Like, I love his videos are so entertaining and like they're so great.
So yeah, everybody,
good cover story.
Yeah, well, we just get any pictures they were in, we'd be like, oh my gosh, the TikTokers are photobombing again.
But
you do what you gotta do. It's a TV show. You have to do your job. You have to follow the rules.
And you're on NDA too, and you don't want to be the first one to be hit with an NDA strike.
But that's how we did it. I mean, we did it. So anyone, Endemol Shine watching, they did good.
And we did get approval from Endemol Shine. And one of the things that we've been doing is we clear it with them. So we had permission to interview you both, and really thankful that both of you were available, especially on short notice. We only did this yesterday or the day before that we agreed on the time. So thank you so much.
Well, I'm just missing out Sort Lug. So
I know we're missing Sort Lug, and Liz and I know each other through Sort Lug, and it just goes back to getting to know the community and getting to know people and supporting them, because that's the other thing about Sort Lug is that we've helped people through their rough times and also helped them celebrate. And it's such an honor to have both of you on and share a little sliver of your life with us, and always welcome to come back anytime. And before I go through the closing remarks, did you have anything else, Remy, to share?
No, just, go show Ethan and Dom some love on Instagram or TikTok or both.
Yes.
And just be welcoming, because, if you are a fan and you're mad at this development, like, you're being manipulated a little bit. So just be aware of that and put it aside.
Well, let's just say that anybody coming into a new environment, regardless of its Lego Masters or anything, you should always be welcoming. And this is a very welcoming community with the Lego community. So please, thank you everybody for being a part of this, because you're listening to the Brickin Broadcast Network here on YouTube. Please like and subscribe to the stream. Even if you're watching this later, any kind of engagement really helps. You have been watching Folky Brick, also known as Erin Laundry. She's on Instagram and TikTok, so please follow her, as well as Liz. I just talked about Erin. Liz P. Builds on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And of course, we have Brick Literacy here on Instagram as well. It's been awesome having you here on the show. Anybody who wants to send any fan mail, which I do read on the air sometimes, Brickin Broadcast Network, P.O. Box 31956, Seattle, Washington 98103. And thanks everybody in the chat: Zach Martinez, Monica Forte, Lena Inverse. We've had a lot of people. Oh, of course, Lego Patrick, who was on here earlier. So anybody who's been tuning in, really appreciate all of your love, and thanks so much for being a part of this as well. And best of luck to you.
Thank you for having us, Naomi. Like, this is amazing. Like, meeting you in person and being like, you want to come on my show? I'm like, oh my gosh, that'd be great.
It was so great. Thank you so much. And Liz and Erin, we're cheering you on. Best of luck to you on the rest of the show. I know we know you know all the details, but we just love seeing it every week.
They're fuzzy. They are fuzzy. So,
and cheering you on and just having so much fun with you. So thanks again. And as they say, everybody on the Brickin Broadcast Network, may the clutch be with you. Take care, everybody. Bye.
Thank
See
you.
ya.
Thank you.
That was so much fun.